Everyone. Okay, today I just want to go over this chart that Psychic J on the Ribbons Discord made. This is just a chart I used for Miasma to get that really well-rounded condition. And yeah, it goes over the Mount Battle berries and the Lychee berry. But before I start getting into it, sorry. These are the berries, Mount Battle. I'm sure you can see that they are pretty expensive. They're really expensive. 15,000 coupons is kind of hard to come. Well, not hard, just really tedious. In XD, the 10th area, if you beat it with no legendaries, you only get 2,000 coupons. So my suggestion is to get as many berries as you can growing before you really near the beginning of your challenge. Let's say you have a Coliseum file that you want to get your Ribbon Master from, but you already have XD beaten and Emerald or Ruby or Sapphire or whatever. Get these and get them planted. That way, while you're trying to catch your Ribbon Master, beating through the campaign at Coliseum, these are growing. Because one, like I said, these things are pretty pricey. 15,000 coupons is a lot, and then they also take 4 days to grow. These berries and the lychee, and with that, they only yield 2 berries in Gen 3. So you plant a Salak, you water it, 4 days later, you'll get 2 of them. It's very frustrating, very tedious, but that's a lot of this challenge is, so honestly. Anyway, so yeah, a cool thing about the Salak, though, is in XD with the Battle CDs, if you have Battle CD 44, which you can get in the Fanatic Coliseum, once you beat, I don't know, it's sometime in the campaign. I really don't know the point, but I'm sure by the time you get to Citadark Isle, you can go back to the Fanatic Coliseum and get the Battle CD 44. It's just laying on the floor in there. So yeah, once you beat that, you get a Salak berry and you get Battle CD 45. You beat Battle CD 45, you get another Salak berry. So that's 2 that you can get without buying. Again, I would just recommend planting them and watering them until you have a decent amount. A decent amount for me is just hugging that 10. But that's just because I'm doing 2 Ribbon Masters at the same time. So, but yeah, so that's just a quick little blurb. Go ahead and get those berries going before you really get to this challenge, because it's really annoying having all the other ribbons except for the contest ribbons just waiting. But yeah, so those are Mount Battle berries, which is what this whole guide is going over. The Lychee berry, obviously, it's in the same kind of category as these. The Lychee berry you can only get on Mirage Island. I've never been to Mirage Island. I know a lot of people just kind of don't worry about this berry, but if you've been to Mirage Island, if you have a Lychee berry, use it, because you can see that it has numbers that the rest of these berries don't have. So it's always useful. It'll help you get that really nice, well-rounded contest condition. So yeah, with that out of the way, I'll kind of go over what this guide is saying. It's really self-explanatory, but sometimes I'm the same way. I like somebody telling me what everything means. So I'm hoping I can do the same for you. This top paragraph is saying these are the 3 NPCs in Lily Cove. Lily Cove in both Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. That's what these numbers are all from. So you'll be blending with them, and you'll be using the Mount Berry battles. You also want to get a level 62 block whenever you do these. To get a level 62, I'm pretty sure you have to hit a max RPM of 60 or 96 or 97. I'm pretty sure it's 96, but I'm sure I can Google that. But whatever. And you can do 8 of these, 8 Pokeblocks from these berries. So get 8 level 62 blocks from these berries once you've decided which ones to get, which I'll go over in a second. And yeah, that's what this guy is saying how to do. These numbers right here are for neutral natures. So if you have any of these middle ones here, the bashful, docile, hardy, quirky, or serious, that's a neutral nature. That means neutral. If you didn't know, a neutral nature is something that doesn't affect your stats whenever you level up, whereas a non-neutral nature, like adamant, Adamant will raise your attack over time, and then I shouldn't say raise and lower. That's a bad way of looking at it. It's this ratio right here, roughly 0.9 and 1.1. So if you have an adamant-natured Pokemon, like my Hariyama, my first Ribbon Master, it got 1.1 times more attack stat as it was leveling up, and only 0.9 as much, 90% as much of its special attack stat leveling up. So all these natures, other than this middle kind of line here, they all affect it. You can look that up really anywhere, or you can just look at this right here. So I'm going to be doing Pokeblocks for Amsaim today. Amsaim is my Coughing, who's going to be a Galarian Weezing. He is modest, so he is going to dislike spicy and like dry. Dislike spicy. Spicy is like the cool flavor, if you will. All the cool kids are eating spicy. So what that means is, for Amsaim, is since it dislikes spicy, it's going to get only 90% of these numbers in this first column. So you see this first row is cool, only 90% of these numbers. I don't have Lychee, so I don't have to worry about that, but with Salak, I'm only going to get 9, contest points instead of 10. And Pataya, I think that's about 44. So yeah, whenever you're trying to figure out which berries to give them, keep that in mind. Because most of the time, especially if you're trying to use your Ribbon Master in like the battle facilities, you definitely want to have a non-neutral nature, because different Pokemon bring different things to the table, obviously. So yeah, you definitely want to keep that in mind. Just real quick, I guess, spicy is like the cool/red flavor. So if you see like a red berry, it's most likely going to give you a lot of like cool stats. Dry is blue or beauty. Sweet is pink or cute. Bitter is green and smart. And then sour is yellow tough. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of a quick overview of that. So what you need to do with if you're using this chart, if you are, that's awesome. All credit goes to Psychic J. You're just kind of going to be guessing. It's honestly a lot of like trial and error, just like a lot of the condition or contest stuff is. I just I brought up a little note over here, just kind of like goofing around, I guess, just trying to figure out which berries, how many of what berries with Pokeblocks is going to be enough. You can see I kind of changed it up right here. So with spicy are the cool things. With the berries I have, I'm only going to get 9 or 44. 9 for the Salak and 44 for the Pataya in that cool area. Whereas with dry, because I'm modest, I like more dry food. I'm going to get an amplified amount. So 68 from Ganlon, 11 from Pataya, and 54 from the Apricot. And so you got to use those numbers instead. The rest of them will be the same if you hit a level 62 block. It's really important you hit a level 62 block, because if you don't, these numbers will be just different overall. I think only the Sheen will be the same, because these are thick boy berries. So yeah, I just only did a couple. My preference is to keep, or I guess my preference is the lowest threshold for one of the contest stats is 150. I guess there's really no reason why for that. But since you can only max out at 255, I figure that's a pretty good like threshold. That, especially since I don't have the Lychee Berry, I definitely want to make sure I'm okay there. Want to make sure I have that extra stat. So I just tried a couple of them. I'm probably going to use this one, even though I'm breaking my own rule here with the 150. But that's just because with 144, that's for the cute. Amsaim, I think, has a few more cute moves than cool moves. So I didn't, 194 is a huge difference between, 150 as far as a cool goes. And whereas 154 and 144 isn't that much. So that and these are over 200. And beauty, Coughing and Weezing get a lot of good beauty moves. It's really this one right here, Explosion. Boom. So with the three contest types, I think I'm going to be fine, just with this level up moves. But with Cute, there are a few that are pretty easy to come by, which is Protect, frustration return, I think you can only get once within each like cart. So if you only have like just ruby or emerald or whatever, I think you can only get one. I could be wrong there. And then yeah, so with cute, I just think it's a little easier to come by. And that's the only reason why I think I'm going to do that. Whereas cool, it just takes a little bit, a little bit more work, I guess, to get decent moves. I mean, Thunder could be really good, especially if you pair it up with Rain Dance. But yeah. Anyway, so you kind of have to go through that, see your Pokemon, your Ribbon Master's moveset to see, really just to see what movesets would be good if you can slack on any of them. So yeah, just kind of go trial and error, do like the addition and multiplication. Like if I'm using 4 Patayas, so that's what, 44. So it's 44 times 4 plus I'm using 2 Salax plus 18, and that's that one number. So yeah, it's all kind of trial and error. Try to find what stat spread you think is best for you, and then once you do that, you can start your berry blend and getting Pokeblocks. So yeah, I will be right back to show you some of those. Hey everyone. Okay, so it turned out that I lied. So instead of doing the 4 Pataya, 2 Apricot, and 2 Salac, I'll be doing 3 Pataya, 3 Apricot, and 2 Salac. That's the first number I was showing, where the lowest amount was 150. As I was talking about like the cute versus cool move to obtain, I was like confused. So I went back and did some research, and it looks like they're just going to be about the same to obtain. So as far as like difficulty or whatever, so I will be going for like the more balanced numbers. So the 3 Pataya, 3 Apricot, and 2 Salac. Cool. So these are the 3 NPCs in Lily Cove. As you can see. You just go up to this little machine, oops, sorry, and talk, and old guy's like, oh, I'm an old timer, make some Pokeblocks, and you're like, yeah, sure. And he's like, excellent, young girl, and yeah. If you don't know how to make a Pokeblock, just keep watching. I mean, I'm not the best at this, but the idea is pretty simple. Okay, so we're just gonna do our Patayas first. We're doing 3 of these. You can only do 1 at a time, but the idea is to hit A when that arrow matches up with your arrow. So that's like the perfect. That's not the perfect. Yeah, like I said, I'm not very good at this. The goal is to hit at least 96 RPM. Oh, sick, we hit 100. So that's good. All right, so that should be a level 62 Pokeblock. Yep. So they're all going to be gray with these berries, which is kind of gross. But that's what we gotta do. So yeah, the level 62. That's kind of what it takes. That's all you have to do. And then the feel is 34. Like I said, that's like the sheen. So yeah, so cool. I won't show you all of them just because I'm like I said, that one, I don't know. I guess I got kind of lucky there. But it can be pretty time consuming. So I'll be right back when I'm on my last one. Okay, so I'm back to make this 8th Pokeblock. I don't know. It's probably been 20-25 minutes. Again, I'm not really good at this game, but sometimes it really just depends on. Like most of Pokemon, RNG really makes a difference, so it really just depends on the computers. But luckily they've been pretty good. Let's see if I can get this last one real quick. Come on. Let's see it. 97. Okay, sweet. So that's that last one. Cool. Look at that. Alright, so I'm the type of player who saves after like everything. So let me do that real quick. Again, the time it takes to make these really just depends on like your own skill at blending and just the NPCs. Whoops. No, that was right. Okay, so now I'm going to go feed those Pokeblocks to Amsaim. What am I looking for? Pokeblocks. Alright, so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It really doesn't matter which, like, the order of which you feed it at. So yeah, just click on one, use it. You go to whoever your Ribbon Master is. There's Amsaim. You can see he has had no Pokeblocks, whereas Miasma, yeah. So that's what it looks like, and also all those sparkles around him. Yeah. So let's start feeding Amsaim some of these blocks. Disdainfully. That's okay. So you can see just 2 Pokeblocks right there. I mean, that graph, that little chart that it shows is really misleading in Gen 3. But still, it looks pretty good. Alright. Happily 8. There you go. Boom. My camera keeps coming in and out of focus every time the screen goes dark. Sorry about that. So you can see like those sparkles around its sprite there. So you see we're pretty close to maxing out, but we'll be able to get these last 2. Alright, so when it does like the all around and then sparkles even more, like right there, that means it's maxed out, so you won't be able to feed it any more Pokeblocks until you get to Gen 6. So again, that doesn't look quite as good as Miasma's, but it's still pretty good, especially once we get the Scarves and some better moves. So let's just go look at the condition again. So yeah, it's pretty good. You can see Tough is pretty maxed out. I don't think it's quite as... Nah, it's probably about the same. And Miasma is doing these contests really easily, so yeah. So that's pretty much like the ins and outs of Pokeblock making. Again, if you really want well-rounded stats and you have access/time to get all the Mount Battle berries... My goodness, I say Mount Berry Battles like all the time. Mount Battle berries... do that. Use those because they will get you really good condition. If not so much for Gen 3, then for Gen 4, because Gen 4 is a lot trickier in my opinion. So yeah, so that's Amsaim. Amsaim's contest condition. Cool. We will be back with some more contests pretty soon. I kind of am planning on doing something a little different with Miasma. Not with Amsaim, because Amsaim's going to stay a coughing and it'll be just, I don't know, a lot more difficult. But with Miasma, I think we're going to do a little more, some extra things outside of the ribbons. So yeah, stay tuned. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really hope these videos help anybody who may need them. If not, I hope they're just enjoyable for people who is watching. So Sweet. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll be back soon with some more videos.